Today we have another epic vintage Yu-Gi-Oh collection. However, this one features some cards we have yet to see on the channel. What's up, Breaker Army? I'm CardBreaker. Welcome back to another epic video. By far, one of my favorite things to do is to purchase or at least help somebody sell their vintage collection because of obviously all the vintage cards and to relive some of those nostalgic memories. But the story with this collection, it was actually somebody that posted on one of the Facebook pages, and a funny turn of events, they were a viewer of the channel, so they're like, hey, I'm going to send you this stuff, you're going to help me price it out, I'm going to buy it. We're going to try and work out a deal with everything here, and it's some big stuff. If you guys actually saw the thumbnail and paid attention to the cards, you will see exactly what I'm talking about because this is an epic one for sure. Vintage game promos, first editions, all the good nostalgia goodies. I will keep the seller's information private just in case they want to stay private, but please feel free to comment down below if you choose so, just because it is fun, obviously, to interact down below in the comment section. But here we go, guys. Let's dive into our collection. Now, this wouldn't be a big-time vintage collection video without a big-time giveaway. We do have a reverse secret rare Jinza. Now, full transparency, this thing is not in mint condition, unfortunately, but it is a beautiful binder copy that we're going to give away to one lucky winner. And for a chance to win, make sure you leave a like on today's video, make sure you're a subscriber, and make sure you guys ring that bell, and let me know your thoughts on this collection. Do you think I should buy it? Do you think everything is going to be worth it? What do you think it's worth? So this is kind of a fun one. Obviously, don't pick your favorite cards. You can if you want, but let me know your guys' thoughts on this collection. If you think I should be buying it or should I not? Here we go, guys. I'm going to do what we normally do with binders. I'm actually going to take the cards out of it because it's a little bit harder, better, obviously to go through the cards, so it's a little bit easier to actually view them one by one, but let's check them out. We're going to kick things off with the first few slabs and actually a sealed promo that came into this binder, or this collection. So this is a sealed Dark Paladin promo. Unfortunately, not in perfect condition. Now, obviously, what I will say, guys, with me picking up this collection, I will not be keeping everything, so if the seller and I do work out a deal, then everything here will be for sale. You can check me out, of course, on Instagram. You can message me on Discord. You can email me. Everything is down below in the description if you guys do want to contact me for any of these cards. There's a couple I might end up keeping. We got to see, confirmed conditions and stuff, but I am actually really excited. But anyway, we do have a Dark Paladin. It is unfortunately not in mint condition. If you guys can see right here on this right edge, there is a little bit of a crease, but we do still appreciate a sealed Dark Paladin promo. By far, if it weren't for Dark Flare Knight, this would be my #1 favorite artwork pretty much across all TCGs. This card is just sick. If you don't think so, there's something wrong with you, respectfully. Our next one we got is a PSA 9 Element of Mishra Story Auto, first edition Ultimate Rare. Still a pretty big card. Obviously, it is it's NA print. It's not European print, but it's still a beauty. And then the next one is a very cool one. So this is a first edition Raigeki. This is a PSA 8, obviously not a PSA 9 or PSA 10. However, it is, of course, a classic first edition Legend of Blue-Eyes. And it does actually have a foil line down the middle, which is kind of cool. It's some people's cup of tea. I think it's really, like, the foil line kind of controversy is kind of weird. Like, I like it if there's a true, like, big time hollow split between the left and right side of the foil line. It doesn't seem to be the case here. So I wouldn't ask like a big premium on that one, if any at all. Like, yeah, foil lines, it's either love it or hate it type thing. And I'm actually surprised PSA graded that as well as they did, because they kind of consider those as damage. So weird stuff. But next one we've got is a Lava Golem, another PSA 9. So I wonder, I think he actually maybe graded all these, because these are all roughly in the same kind of cert area, that's 65 million, but PSA 9, first edition Lava Golem. I may end up keeping that one and crack it for the binder. I'm not sure, because I do need to upgrade the condition of mine. Then we've got a PSA 7 Guilford. I wish this was a 10. I would so be keeping it, but it is a 7, unfortunately. Still good for somebody's collection. I want a 10 of it. That's just me personally. And then last slab is a Paladin of White Dragon, first edition from MFC. PSA 9, it looks pretty clean. It's just the usual, like, OC-ness you get from Magician's Force, so kind of like is what it is. Let's check out those big binder cards. Now, this isn't the largest collection we've ever reviewed on the channel, but it does have some bangers, that's for sure. So up first is a Tri-Horn Dragon, first edition from LB. Now, some of these we're going to check conditions. I know most stuff in here is supposed to be LP/near mint, but we're going to verify some things. I can already see kind of a white dot on the top. So yeah, this one is not, unfortunately, in like mint condition, but it is still a beauty. So soft corner up there, white dot, soft corner, but it is a great binder copy nonetheless. So I would probably put this, if I were to sell this, I would probably put this as like maybe moderately played. Like, here's my kind of standards. If it was just like the white dot, white dot, white dot, like maybe soft corner bend, then I would probably put it LP. But because this actually has like a pretty substantial corner bend up there on the top, I would probably put this as MP, especially when you combo like the scuffing and then also the corners on the bottom have some issues. So that's kind of like where I draw the line when it comes to conditionings. Obviously, there's more stuff to dive into detail about, but That's our first one. Then we've got a Horus the Black Flame Dragon. This is the unlimited, but it is an ultimate rare, so this is a pretty big card, even in unlim. Beauty of a card. We're not going to check out every single card, but we will check out these first couple ones. So actually, at first glance, this one looks pretty good. Soul of the Duelist typically has some whitening, like fresh out the pack, so that's perfectly fine. But look at that ultimate rare. That is a beauty. It actually looks to be a little bit better stamped than most of the other ones you typically see. And then on the back, you do see the typical waxing, but no corner bends. That's nice. So, I don't know. I might actually end up keeping this one. I do need a nicely clean, unlimited Horus, so that's pretty nice. Now, here's one of the biggest cards in the collection. Even in the condition it is oh my god, it is in. I was just so excited to get to the card. So we got a Blue-Eyes White Dragon, Dark Duel Stories, DDS. One of the most iconic cards in the hobby. Even in the condition it's in, it's still a beauty. So, the holo is actually pretty clean, but you can see this corner is really jacked up. This one's jacked up. That corner's jacked up. That one is. And then if we look in the back, so we got like a little indent here. I don't think it's a crease. No, it does have a crease. So it comes through the front and the back. Indent there, indent there. So this is just a good binder copy. Like, there's no substantial creases. Like, honestly, this in a sleeve would look pretty good. Like, I didn't even tell this. Like, when I could first see it in the binder, I'm like, oh, this actually isn't too bad. But I did see pictures of this one prior to. So, and again, no shade towards the seller, obviously no hate or anything like that, because we pick up stuff over time. If they've had them since their childhood, you know, there's many different scenarios on why conditions are the way they are, but no hate on anybody that collects stuff that's less than near mint. So great binder copy. I would probably put this as like maybe heavily played if I were to sell this, due to the corners, the indents, the creases. Like, it's not damaged. Like, I personally would not put this as damaged, but that's definitely, at least in my books, kind of heavily played. But obviously the seller and I can kind of like argue semantics back and forth. But that's just the first 3 cards, guys. We had a lot to go. Now, I do realize we don't have time to go through every single card's condition, but there's just some cards that we've really got to take the time to just admire. So we've got the GBI Secret Rare Set, Slifer, Obelisk, and Raw. I think that they're supposed to be all relatively clean. Let's double check these real fast. Just again, these are some of the biggest cards in the lot. I do see a little indent there, but you can't go wrong with the foiling on these cards, guys. These original GBIs, like, this is some of the most iconic and nostalgic ones in the game. This is another one I would probably... I don't see any big-time creases, but you definitely have indents there, soft corners all around. I would go with probably at least moderately played there. Maybe not heavily played because there's no actual creases or anything like that. Let's check out the Obelisk. Let's see how you're looking. So, first glance, Secret Rare looks incredible. Of course, it's Obelisk. The blues, the greens, the yellows. Front looks okay. A little dirty, like a little dingy. Could be cleaned up. And then on the back, maybe sometimes this is just the cutting on the cards. Like, it's actually not a lifted edge, but it could be. So I just see some kind of like light scuff marks, some kind of griminess. It could be borderline near mint, maybe LP. It just depends on how it looks like off camera when I can look at it in different lighting and maybe clean it up some. And then we've got the Winged Dragon of Ra. Let's check this one out. Now, I hope this is near mint, because I really need one for my binder. Coming here soon, I will be doing a video game promo update binder, or actually just one in general, because haven't posted one yet to the channel, but I am working on collecting all the video game promos. Looks like this is actually clean. It just has some, like, fingerprint marks and stuff in the back that just needs cleaned off, which is a super easy fix. I want to keep that one in as clean condition as it looks like. Now, those are probably going to be the only cards we're going to look at, like, conditions, unless something really jumps out. So we're just going to start going through the actual lot, and maybe we'll pause on some cards as we're going through. So I got a Serpent Knight Dragon, first edition from Magic Ruler. Archfiend of Gopher, this is RPO2. Now, this video is being posted after Retro Pack 2 has released already. So this obviously is the original ones. You can't beat the originals. Like, you really can't. I'm kind of curious. I want to see what the condition of this one is. Let's check it out real fast. Front looks not bad. Just look at that holo. Oh man, you can't beat that. Back looks pretty good. Oh, it's got some, like, dirt up there, some whitening in the corners. I'd be at LP with that one. So, but still not too bad. Okay, woo! We are going to check this one out. Now, this is a special one. This is a pretty heavily faded Blue-Eyes White Dragon. This is a beauty of a card, guys. I've recently started to appreciate the faded stuff. So, like, this card just looks so cool. Like, this is one I'm for sure going to be maybe keeping. I haven't quite decided yet, because I do like my faded stuff. Not in the best condition, but it is decent. It's got a little, like, indent there and, like, pin dot. I think there's a little bubbly crease down here in the bottom. So this one's one of those where it's for sure at least LP. I don't know if I would call it moderately played. I just got to check and see, like, how indented this bottom corner is. But That is just an awesome card, guys. Faded Blue Eyes. You don't see them that faded all that often, so that is a pretty unique one. Got a Magician of Black Chaos. This monster is just too iconic. Like, it's right up there with the Dark Paladin artwork, with the portrait style. You can't beat it. You really can't. Got a Black Lesser Soldier. Speaking of the portrait style artwork, that is just another iconic one. The Ritual one, that blue color is just beautiful. We got a Relinquished, a Mashed Beast. That is actually from Labyrinth of Nightmare, not the reprints and the supers and stuff. Here's a cool one. This is a reprint, or not a reprint, this is a misprint, secret rare, so this wasn't supposed to be a secret, I guess, technically. And then you have the original super rare, which is what it was supposed to be. Got a Shinado, King of a Higher Plane. I love my Dark Crisis, you guys know that. Another Relinquished, and a Javelin Beetle. So there's some cards. We got a good bit to go. Probably going to be speeding things up here just a little bit, because really the first half of this binder was really front heavy on the big bangers, but we're going to go through the rest. We've got the Alpha, the Beta, and the Gamma Magnet Warriors. We got a Yada, of course, in true fashion, it is pretty OC. It's got a bent corner up there, I can see through the sleeve, so this one's probably at least LP at a minimum. Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior from Stairway to Destin Duel. Of course, I love my game promos. Feast of Talwar from Pharaoh Servant First Edition. Metal Zoa, I think there's also the Zoa, yeah, so you got all those classic, just truly cool monsters from original Duel Monsters era with Bandit Keith. Super awesome part of the series. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, of course, Mr. Weevil. A Magic Cylinder. This is a regular copy. I thought this might have been reversed. Nope, just regular. Cloak and Dagger, Ultimate Rare. This one's really, really cool. I love this card as an ulti. Got a Imperial Order. This is actually, I think, a reverse. Yeah, that is a reverse secret rare. So for those who don't know, the reverse foil just means it's going that way versus the other way. So just kind of keep it in mind. Shadow Spell, a Magic Jamber that is unlimited Meta Raiders. Pretty cool. A Grave Robber, Pharaoh Servant, Negate Attack, so another one from the Sacred Cards. Griffin Wing, Mask of Restrict, classic from Labyrinth of Nightmare. A Heavy Storm, first edition from Meta Raiders. That's kind of cool. Let's check this out real fast. This one, if it's in decent shape, this one's actually pretty decent money. So let's see. See a white dot on the corner, on the bottom. Nope, I see a little bent corner there on the top right. So at least, yeah, for sure LP. We'll see. Maybe borderline MP. There's like a weird line between LP and MP, because like LP, it obviously means lightly played. Moderately played is when you start to see like more of those, like almost all the corners are bent, there's scuffs, there's whitening, things like that. So just a little, information for those of you that need help grading your cards conditions. Mystical Space Typhoon, we've got a Flute of Summoning Dragon, Dark Hole, all unlimited, Change of Heart, Graceful Charity, Blackluster Ritual, and a Raigeki. So there's one of our stacks. Don't worry guys, this actually don't have too much more to go. Probably about this, maybe equivalent in stack. So just enjoy. Obviously we took more time going through the conditions of these because it wasn't the largest collection. Plus there are some pretty big cards, so I obviously had to check those out, obviously, for science. Kaiser Seahorse, Revival Jam, Labyrinth of Nightmare, Dark Necrofear, Dark Magician from the booster pack, Tin, Garuzis from TP2. Actually, this one was unsleeved in the binder, but it's pretty beat up. This one's like at least moderately played. Forest Black Flame Dragon, level 6. Millennium Golem, this is a cool one. This is from TP7. Gate Guardian, unfortunately this one is pretty rough. I would put this as probably damaged, because it's got a really gnarly crease right there going across the middle, so that is pretty unfortunate. Got a Jinzo from BPT. Funny, actually, giving away a Jinzo, so we get a Jinzo back, but that one's BPT. Sengen Jin from the World Championship Series, Cosmo Queen, and the Millennium Shield. Iconic monsters. We got the Mika Zukino Yaiba. I don't know how you pronounce this one quickly, but that is a classic monster from the Tournament Pack 2. Buster Blader from the BPT. Got Summon Skull from BPT. Another, actually, I forgot there was 2 of those. I thought there was just one. Got a Breaker. Of course, this is the classic one from Magician's Force. Archlord Zerado, one of my favorite monsters ever. Garnecia Elephantis. Injection Fairy Lily from LOD. A Gaia the Dragon Champion. Twin-Hundred Thunder Dragon. Suijin. Sangha of the Thunder. This one's got some kind of cool coloring to it. Like really dark ink on the text box and name and stuff. Kazujin, kind of the same thing. Sacred Phoenix, what did you do to my boy? He needs to be reborn. Those corners and edges are really beat up. And then we actually have another Horus. Now this one I think is like, I did actually look at this one because I got kind of curious. I'm like, there's 2 of these in here. They're both unlimited ultimate rares, but this one is a little bit worse condition, or actually a lot worse condition. This one does have a crease there. So just a good binder copy if you guys want to pick up a Horus and don't want to pay the like $250 roughly, 200 I think maybe is what it is. Same thing here. This one's a little bit beat up, but it's okay. We do love you all. A Thestalos, the Firestorm Monarch, roughly LP condition. Here's a cool one. Now, it's obviously pretty scratched up, as you guys can see. You can barely see the monster. But Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, one that I did pull not too long ago for the 3.5k special. So the person who owns this collection, if you watch that video, let me know down below in the comment section. Got a Stardust Dragon. I think this is actually Euro. We're going to check this out because the stars, to me, this looks like it's a Euro copy. And plus the cardstock just kind of feels like it. But this is just, like, in my opinion, I think Stardust Dragon has one of the weakest ultimate rares. Like, and what I mean by that, it just, they could have done a better job. Like, it just looks like they threw up ultimate rare foiling on the card. Now, one of my all-time favorite ultimate rares, unfortunately, this one looks to be damaged. Yeah, very, very damaged. Lots of creases, corners just gone. It is what it is, but yeah, that one is damaged, unfortunately. We got a Divine Dragon Excellion. This is a Euro Unlim, which is kind of neat, kind of random. A Nolan Void. Knight's Title, one of my favorites. Actually, I wonder if this is clean. I need one of these because I need a PSA 10. Got a Reload, first ed from IOC. Card Destruction, Brain Control, and a Double Spell from MFC. Last run at our stack of cards, so we're going to go through this stack and we shall be done. We got a Javelin Beetle Pack, the Zera Ritualist. This was a secret rare, still need that one. Inferno Fire Blast, one of the coolest artworks. My guy Red Eyes is blasting off. We got a Celtic Guardian. This is a reprint, actually, from LOB. Obnoxious Celtic Guard, the Cyber Dragon. I think this is actually Euro, too. Yeah, there's some Euro cards in here, which is kind of neat. So I can tell by the name right away, it's very rainbowy in Euro, if that makes sense. Got a Mystical Elf. This is indeed OG, but it's got a crease there. Thousand Eyes Restrict from Duelist League. That's kind of neat. Don't see those all that often. Excuse me, we got a XYZ Dragon Cannon Catapult Turtle. Next one is the Suigents. We already had the Guardian pieces. We got some more. Another Duelist League. Got the Buster Blader there this time. Oh, buddy. I saw these when I was taking them out of the binders. Like, if you don't have these in your collection from a vintage collection, then you collected wrong. So we got the Andrew Sphinx, the Thinny and the Great Sphinx, and the Sphinx Telia. Oh my gosh. It would not be a vintage collection without those three. We got the Mirror Wall, the Geofree, the Iron Knight, Cyber and Dragon. I wish this was an ultimate rare. That would have been crazy. Vampire Genesis, Infernal Flame Emperor, Dark Eradicator Warlock. Very cool to see all those three. Guardian Sphinx. This is one you don't see all that often in decent shape, so I wonder if that one's in good shape. Black Illusion Ritual, the Soul Exchange. Here's a cool one. So you can tell that they probably opened up this packaging themselves, because what I mean by that is Soul Exchange only is from SDY and says spell card when it's opened from the Dual Master's Guide box. So that's the box that has this as a promo, and you get 2 pre-sealed decks for Starter Deck Yugioh and Starter Deck Kaiba, but they're different prints. So this is a more like old greenish blue, if that makes sense. And then it says spell card instead of magic card. So a little fun fact for those who don't know. Black Magic Ritual, the secret rare, love that card. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Toon Mermaid, Toon Summon Skull, and a Lava Golem. Got the Exiled Force, Diffusion Wave Motion, Yamata Dragon, Painful Choice, Swords of Revealing Light, Monster Reborn, a lot of OG classics, of course, Toon World, Winged Dragon of Ra, DOD, can't go wrong with this old school prismatic foiling. Serial Spell that has definitely seen some better days. Dark Magician of Chaos from IOC, that is a beauty. Mobius the Frostborn Arc, another Summon Skull. Maybe this is why I thought there's only one BPT. I don't know, but there is a MRD Summon Skull, another Yamata Dragon, a Time Wizard, Legendary Fisherman, first edition. He's a bit beat up though, it's got a chewed on corner up there. A Trihorn Dragon, this one is from the reprints, unfortunately, but it is still a awesome monster. Karibo, we're almost done here, guys. Penguin Soldier, another Karibo. This time it is a first edition copy that has some weird hollow stuff going on the top. That's kind of neat. Graceful Dice, Scapegoat, Call of the Haunted, first ed Feral Servant, Red Eyes B Dragon from Starter Deck Joey, Elemental Hero Chaos, Neos. This is a cool one from Gladiator's Assault. Iconic monster. Dark Magician, speaking of iconic, that's just, obviously, it's Dark Magician SDY. Can't go wrong with that. Trihorn Dragon. Now, here's a cool one. This is actually a somewhat faded and wavy copy. So what I mean by wavy, you guys can see the ripples in the cardstock. It's not truly, like, glossy, shiny. It's got, like, little waviness, like, ripples and stuff. So pretty cool. Don't see those all that often. And then last couple ones, we've got a 5 God Dragon. This is from one of the tins for the Japanese side. A Javelin Beetle, and a Grave Robber. So, guys, let me know what you think of this collection. Obviously, to the seller, huge shout out. Thank you so much for the trust, obviously, sending this stuff over. Thank you for the support on the channel. You said you've been watching it, I think, for the last year. Like, I appreciate it. I really do. Like, everybody that watches the channel supports it. Help us get to 5K. If you're watching this video and haven't subscribed, click the dang button. Make sure it's not red. Click it now. Let's get to 5K so we can crack the stuff that we've got open. I'm looking at it right beside me. It's over there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this collection, everybody. If you think it's worth it, should I pick it up? What do you think it's worth? What would you pay? So, of course, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave it a like, comment down below, and subscribe for future content. Consider joining as a channel member to get you guys some free packs, or there are some perks, or click any links down below to get you guys some discounts on some epic brands that I do collab with. That's all that for today, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. A huge shout out to our channel members, Sargoni YT, K-Dragon, Mark Donnelly, Cody Slater, Josh Evans, Michael P. Sutton, Lazy Dane, Evan Rudolph, Allison Snell, Will Breaks DCG, Ram22, Roland Pryor, Austin and Kayla, Derek Williams, King Louie, Tone Fo Show, Battle Phase, James Roche, Chio, Attention Duelist, Capiba, Zoxus, and 22 Dragons. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I do hope you have a nice day. Hope you have a nice night. I will see you guys in the next one. This is CardBreaker. I'm out.